Hello, my friends, and welcome to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am working today the Block 5, which is this little one right here. You probably can't see it, but it is a sewing machine for my Poppie cotton. It has a lot of pieces of fabric. You see all those little clips on there? That's all the different pieces of fabrics we have. So we are just going to get on into it. I'm hoping you guys have are having or have had a fabulous day, and I hope you are so excited about your weekend to be started. Mine started yesterday, so I'm very happy about that. I'm reading my instructions here on what I'm to join, and you would think that they wouldn't start out at the very end of your letters, but they do. And we are, I can see right now that I need to get my clip bin and my alphabetties out. On my alphabetties, I'll just put in the lid of that. But it is a beautiful day here. It's kind of warm already. I think we started out with 81 when we got up, but hoping to have a beautiful day. I'm reading all my instructions here. I know everything is 1/4 of an inch unless otherwise stated. So we are going to sew this at 1/4 of an inch. And what I'm doing, this is a sewing machine. It has the pattern that we're doing is a sewing machine. Yes, guys, and I talk to myself a lot here when I'm sewing. How many of these do I have? I think I only have 2 of these. Because I have found if I talk through it, then it's easier for me to understand it. Do y'all do that? Do you talk to yourself? So I am going to have to press this because the next step I add to this here. But I am going to trim all my little strings off of it so it presses easier. Okay, to this little piece here, I will add a piece to the top and a piece to the bottom of that. It's the same fabric as the one that went through the center. There's a lot of small pieces of this. I don't know if I have any half square triangles. I hope not. It looks like I do have some though. Looks like I just saw one that corners, which that means I'll have to mark that one. Because I've only just cut this fabric this morning. I have not marked anything. I cut it at 5 a.m. actually. Because I wanted to go on and get this done today. And I have my grandbaby today. And, oh, I have some information on my mail situation. If y'all have seen some past videos, I have a subscription box that was sent to the wrong location by our Shreveport Distribution Center, which I think I'm calling the commission on this because this is not the first thing that I've had go awry at the Shreveport Distribution Center. It's a lot of stuff. I have a package still out from February. I ordered it in January and was supposed to have received it actually before February. So I have a package from January that I still have not received. They cannot find. We have filed a claim. And it's still not found. Okay, so here is our first little piece. I keep trying to trim all the strings off of it because these are a lot of little pieces and them extra strings just make a mess. So from this, we're going to add a W to the right side. And of course my sizing isn't coming out correct. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, my piece is the correct size, so it's just probably my seams. It does tell me what it should measure out as, so at the end I will trim. And that is another thing with the poppy cotton. Do not do, I think it says do a scant, but I have found if I do a scant quarter inch, that it is too big and I have to do a lot of trimming. Our next step is to add a piece to the, and what I'm going to do is line up my pieces that go off the sides so they're even, because I know what size they are. Okay, and what I'm going to do is press this and trim it. So now I have my bobbin section done. Now it says use the sew and flip, add 2 of my DDs. Only have, oh, I was supposed to have 7 of these. Oh, I need some more cutting, y'all. Okay, so I had to cut a few more of these, and I went on and marked them. So now we take these. Whew, having to move a bunch of little things. And I am to, it says sew and flip. So that means I just put them on the corner. I guess it's called snowballs or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. I'm just going to sew the 2 on, and then I will trim it off at 1/4 inch. And I will press it out. So what do y'all have on your table? Y'all know, y'all saw my little secret, my little update. Yes, I have another sew along I am doing. You guys will be seeing the first video on Sunday. This one is just a sew along until I get it done. I could finish it in 2 videos. I could finish it in 10. Who knows? Okay, our next piece we are going to add, we have 3 pieces that we're adding to it, but they're all 3 different sizes and go in different locations. So I'm keeping the clips on these over here and just matching up. And guys, the poppy cotton, this is a monthly, like a block of the month. And I was behind starting out, and I'm trying to catch up, so you will likely be seeing more than one poppy cotton. You'll probably be seeing one a week until I catch up, which I could catch up. This is the May. This is the May one. So I can catch up with 2 more blocks. So I could catch up easily by the end of the month. And, you know, as long as I do 1 a week, I can have it caught up. And then I could be doing this just like I do cotton cuts and sew sampler, you know, the peaceful baskets, 1 a month. Right now I just have multiples of this one on my table to catch me up with it. And it's a fairly easy sew along. They have very good instructions. The photos that they use are very clear, concise. It's not really hard to understand at all. The only thing, if you do a half square triangle, they put the sizes in the pattern the same exact size that it's supposed to cut down to after you've attached the 2 squares to do a half square triangle, which is not correct. I'm having to take this out. I wasn't straight, and I need to get this straight. I didn't realize I didn't have it on the back edge. So yes, guys, this happens to me all the time. Well, not this exact thing, but I have to pull my seam ripper out all the time. Don't be afraid to pull your seam ripper out. When it's these corner pieces, you really do want them to be attached correctly. Because if they're not, then that just messes your whole thing up. I keep twisting it. And guys, I will probably have to stop sewing here. Probably in about an hour. My green baby will probably be waking up from his nap, ready to eat. You won't see all of that, but I may tell you that's what I'm doing. This looks like this is the sewing machine top. I'm looking to see where... Okay, this is actually the opening of the sewing machine. This is the opening of, like right here, of the sewing machine. So now we're doing a sew and flip also. And some of these, y'all, these pieces are very tiny. This one right here, and I have 7 of these. So that's probably going to make our nook and crannies of the sewing machine, is what it looks like it's doing. Okay, so our next step, we're making our needle, and we will be attaching it to that piece. I'm definitely going to have to trim that piece up because it was obviously cut on the wrong, like on the bias or something. And now to assemble my needle, I attach these 2 pieces. This piece is like a building block. You just keep adding on to it to build it to the piece that you need. And it's like you're just making it a longer piece. Okay, so I am going to press this out and see what this looks like. I think I have another step to it before this part is completely done, but I think it's on the back of the page. Okay, so this is our needle unit, and we are to add the needle unit to this unit. I'm probably going to pin these because I have 2 seams that kind of come together right here. Maybe not. Well, yep, I'm pinning because that piece of fabric is kind of twisted a little bit. So we're already kind of assembling this piece. You just kind of build it as you go, it looks like. Okay, so it looks like we added this. Okay, so the next piece we're making is the wheel. I am taking 2 more of these tiny little pieces and putting them together here. What we're doing to make the wheel is we add 3 of the little pieces together. They're all different in length. I actually think this may be something that Sean, the guy who sews, would actually like this one, because he likes, or seems to like, patterns that have lots of details in them like this. Okay, I'm having to pull my seam ripper out because my fabric was pulled down in the bobbin, and it does that if I don't put it on there far enough up, because it catches that underneath and it makes a rat's nest. So now we will be attaching the wheel piece. Oh, I didn't attach my arm. That wasn't real smart. I need to attach my arm because I can't attach my wheel piece. Guys, this takes a lot of focus on this one because the measurements on these pieces, they're not full inch measurements. They're not even half inch or quarter of inch. Some are like 3/8 and some are 3/4, and which is on a quarter of an inch. But if you're not paying attention, you will get it wrong. Because I did several times. But like I said, I was cutting fabric at 5 o'clock this morning. So yes, I have had to stop and do some recutting. And I also edit out when I have to mark the fabrics. Because I do have to mark my fabrics still. I don't trust my judgments enough to try to do that. So now we just add this other piece on the other end. We're building our sewing machine today. And I hope you guys get to get some sewing or a little joyness over your weekend. I'm going to be doing a lot of sewing this weekend, hopefully. Keeping my fingers crossed. My husband does go back to work Saturday, so I will get to sew probably all day Saturday. You know, my sister may want to go do something, but I'm thinking I may not need to go do anything this weekend. I need to get some sewing done, get some house cleaning done. Nobody likes doing house cleaning, and I'm at the top of that list of nobodies. I do not like cleaning house, and I will do anything to procrastinate house cleaning, but it's got to be done. So this is the total arm piece of our sewing machine. So now we will be building our little quilt thing that's laying on the sewing machine. Now, they actually gave us 2 fat quarters to do scraps with. Some of the scraps, I'm not following the same colors that they had on the scraps. I just used some of the scraps I had in my that I've already cut, you know, because the size that it calls for is very small, you know, not a very wide piece. So you kind of want to use any of your scraps that you have in the size that it calls for, because you just don't cut a lot this size. I don't. So I'm going to try to use every little piece that I have that is this size. And this is actually the smallest size that I will keep of fabric scraps. See, like on this one, we have a red block, a yellow block, and a purple block. And then this one is supposed to be, well, this is kind of like a pink, a yellow, a purple, then a red, and I'm using a white. So I'm just using what I already have. Now, these aren't the colors it called for, but that's the colors I'm using. So now what we are going to do, I have to cut this one in half diagonally and put on each end. That's what it looks like to me. I actually said put that on end. It's not ends. It's 2 adjoining sides that you put this on. What we do with this is we're going to make a little quilt that hangs over the machine, or looks like something is on the machine. Y'all, I'm listening for my grandbaby. He should have woke up by now. But he didn't get down for a nap until I got back from my chiropractor's appointment. My husband had no clue what to do. So now this is our little quilt that we'll be doing. And our next step is we will be doing some sides for this piece now. I need 2 of my little bitty pieces here. Yeah, I was saying my grandbaby should already be awake. He may still be asleep because he didn't go down for a nap until I got back from the chiropractor. And I know I probably just told you that, but there's more to it. He had started crying because he does, when he gets sleepy, he likes to be held. And Grammy don't mind holding. I'll do that all day long if I have to. But you can give him a pacifier and hold him and rock him, and he'll go to sleep in no time. Well, he does like a motorboat sound when he gets really tired. And my husband's like, I thought he was hungry. So my daughter has powdered formula. So, you know, they have that little bowl that's got the 3 holes that you fill it up. So he actually eats food. And he'll have like a little 4-ounce bottle to have after he eats his food. Or before. I like to give it to him after that. After he has his food. But I do mix formula in with his food. Because I put cereal and into puree. I do all that. Because I feel like he needs the nutrients in the formula. But this little sugar bear likes his groceries. So, and I know my husband is not going to be able to do that. So, when he wakes up, I will go in there and feed him. And he likes to play, and he's actually getting to where he will, we call it a playpen. Okay? Us older folks call it a playpen. It's now a pack and play. But he will sit in his pack and play for a good while, entertain himself. If I'm going to be in there with him, I will put him in a walker and let him strengthen his legs. But y'all, he's 6 months and already pulling up, standing up in the pack and play. But we let him, you know, I let him play, and I'm not a holder. I mean, if he wants to be held, I will hold him. But I think babies, you know, need floor time, and not on my floor right now, though. I've got to shampoo my carpet in a bad kind of way, which was one of the things I was wanting to do this weekend or today. But, you know, when my daughter's normal babysitter kind of pulled out for today, that I'm always here to babysit if needed. If it's my day off, my grandbaby takes precedence. Because I remember staying with my grandparents when I was a baby, when I was young. I'm not going to say a baby, but before I started school. You know, I was like 4 years old. And yes, I remember that. There's only bits and pieces that I remember, but I do remember staying with my grandma and my granddaddy, and you know, that's memories you don't want to forget, and a lot of kids don't have those. So I want my grandbabies to have those memories, you know, of being able to stay with Grammy, you know, because those are such fond memories for me, you know, with my grandparents. But grandparents now, you know, a lot of kids don't have that. Most grandparents work all the time, which I work. I work a full-time job. And I YouTube. So, I definitely work a lot. Right now I'm working. I classify this as work because I'm providing something and I love doing it. So, you know, they say if you do what you love, it's never work. I love this, but it can't replace my full-time job. Because this don't pay the bills. Even if I wasn't buying fabric, it wouldn't pay even the light bill. Okay, this is the base of our sewing machine. So it looks like now I put the bobbin on top and the base on the bottom. And yeah, we're just about done. Now, granted, I have had to stop a couple times, and we're almost at 2 hours right now. I have had to stop a couple times and help tend to the baby. And I have had to stop a couple times to cut additional fabrics, where I only cut 1 and should have cut 7. But that was all my fault because I didn't read my pattern very well. I just saw what size I needed to cut and I only cut 1 when I needed 7. And I had several that I needed more than 1 and I only cut 1. Because, you know, at 5 o'clock in the morning, you're just wanting to get the size right. And I had one that I didn't get the size right that I had to recut. But yeah, we're looking at right at 2 hours. And I will tell y'all, some of these blocks needed to be measured out. I didn't measure them out. You know, I think it is what it is. It'll be okay. It looks like it's coming out. Wow, that one's really long. Let me make sure that's the right size because I may need to cut a piece down. That's the B. Let me see how big that is. Oh, Lord, it's a whole inch bigger than it should be. Okay, I'm going to take this apart, but luckily all I have to do is cut 1 inch off of this. Y'all see, me and Jack are being friends today. We are being friends today. But luckily, I mean, that's an easy fix. When I cut it too big. Too big is better than too little. When cutting fabrics, that's definitely a better. That would have been awful had I cut it an inch too short. But so far, I haven't hurt my little green baby. Okay, I'm going to have to measure this out and trim it. Now that I have this trimmed, let's try this again. Whew. Boy, that had me scared. I was about to say I can't assemble it that bad off. And I knew something looked kind of strange when I sewed it, but not thinking that's what it was. I just put it together and sewed it. My memory was trying to tell me something was wrong with the length of that when I put them pieces together. So now let's get this together. That looks a lot better. That looks a whole lot better. So I am actually going to pin this side, not necessarily where I sew it, but so it keeps that edge straight. And I can straighten the rest of it out as I sew down. There's some places where it is, the fabrics aren't the same length or height or whatever it is. But I'm trying to make sure to sew everything. So even the pieces that come above the other piece, I try to make sure they're all even. So when I sew, it's not a swerve. I don't have a curve in my sewing. Okay, so now what we do is we add our last piece. Yay! Y'all, we are on our last piece. So let's see. And I'll be able to press these two out at the same time. I'll take that pin out. Making sure to put right sides together. I guess that goes without saying, right sides together. Because if you don't put right sides together, you're going to have a wrong side out there when you flip it out. Okay, I'm going to press and bring you guys right back so we can see what the finished piece looks like. Here is my little block 5, my sewing machine. I know the colors kind of look off over here because I have lighter colors here and darker colors going that way, but it doesn't matter. That's my sewing machine. So I have block 5 of the Poppie Cotton Country Blessings Sew Along completed. Our next block that we will be doing is flowers, but that one is going to be probably in another week or so. But guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to join me, and I hope you were able to sew something, and if not, I hope you enjoyed just sitting and listening to me talk through what I'm supposed to do. So guys, please leave a comment. Tell me what you think. And as always, until I see you again, have a very blessed day. Goodbye.